Hurry up everyone. Easter service starts in half an hour. We don't want to be late.
What's the hurry? You didn't even want to go at first.
And I still don't. What am I supposed to tell Jaden about my Lord of the Underworld, Mum? What are you wearing?
You're making it sound like my clothes are inappropriate for the occasion.
I guess you could say that. You look like you're about to perform a ritual to raise an army of zombies.
Well, isn't that exactly what Easter Sunday is? The celebration of some guy coming back from the dead? At least I'm not dressed like I'm on the way to his funeral. I don't want to name any names here, but Wilbica.
She's right. You have been wearing a lot of black lately.
So, I didn't get the memo that that was forbidden.
You should both reconsider your outfits. There's still time.
Whatever.
You go ahead then, because getting out of this dress will take long enough, let alone finding a new one that you're more comfortable with, so I won't make it till 10 a.m.
Some people in this family just don't know how to dress up. Luckily, you all have me to set a good example. How do you like my outfit?
Stell Maria's texts read like she actually wrote them herself again. Guess that Hex Mum put on the flower bouquet has finally worn off.
Is he ignoring me? They're not going to acknowledge my efforts at all, are they? Oh wow.
Something tells me I'm not going to have a minute's rest today. You're lucky, Finn. I'd much rather be camping in the woods myself. At least it's quiet there.
Does anybody have any idea where we are?
I told you, we should have gone the other way, but no one ever listens to me.
Just look at the map next time, because right now I don't think we're even on it anymore.
It's the same spot as every year. How can it be somewhere else all of a sudden?
I assure you my brothers aren't always this embarrassing.
Neither is my husband.
Don't you feel a lot better in this dress? Easter eggs are colorful too after all, not plain black.
Tiamo Mammini, the fashion designer.
Art critic if you please. And art has many faces, with fashion being one of them.
What about being on time? Is that an art form too? If yes, it's one that Mum hasn't mastered. The devil only knows what she's putting on again.
Her queen dress perhaps, or an Easter bunny costume. I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking of costumes, how do you like mine?
Thank you for coming. Sorry, no dogs allowed, not even when you force them into strange costumes.
Thanks, I guess. At least someone noticed it.
You're showing up everywhere these days, aren't you?
I'm an honorary member of this church, which means I come here often. Can't say the same about you. But you look somewhat familiar.
Studio Donna. You wanted me to lift my skirt so you could make sure I don't have a dick, remember? Yet you complain about us bringing a dog to church.
House rules are house rules, and this church is a house of God. You don't want to get on God's bad side, do you?
But God spelled backwards is dog. That has to count for something, no? Maybe you've got it all wrong, and the so-called God you're praying to is actually a dog. Ever thought about that?
Well, seems like you have to wait outside. Sorry, bitch.
You call your dog bitch?
Normally I'd call you that, but I don't want to offend my dog.
Now I remember. You were the girl with the dark humor.
If that's what you want to call it, fine by me. Can we go in now?
Hey Wilbica, I saved you a place. Your mother isn't coming?
She's coming all right. Whether or not you'll be happy when you see her is a different matter though.
And any news on my aunt?
Stell Maria let her out of her cell, but she's still in the magic realm, atoning for her sins in some other way. I think it's safe to say she won't be attending.
Did I miss anything?
No, unfortunately not. I told my brother not to be late for his very first service, because what kind of impression does that convey of him as the new priest? Fuck.
Don't worry, the community may judge him, but God won't. I'm sure he has a good reason for being late.
Yeah, I just hope it's not the reason I think it is.
Hi there. How are we all?
Beryl, what's going on? I'm going to shoot myself, that's what's going on.
Excuse me, sir. I'm afraid you've got the wrong address. We're here for the Easter service. It's supposed to start any minute now.
Yes, I know. Would be awkward if I didn't, because I'm your new priest. And your Easter bunny, at least for today. Reverend Maxwell Kailani, nice to meet you.
Aw, sweet.
What?
I mean, awful. Very unprofessional. What's going on here?
I realize my attire might seem a little unusual to some of you. Some might even call it inappropriate. It's definitely not a conventional priest's robe. But isn't that exactly the problem with churches these days? That their members keep harping on about conventions and traditions and the same old-fashioned beliefs that fun is forbidden and only for sinners?
He's not wrong.
Definitely not, especially about the fun part. I feel like I should confess my sins to him after the service, and commit new ones with him while I'm at it.
Forget it. I bet that was Mum putting a spell on him. She's probably outside, watching and laughing her ass off as we speak.
Okay, I was expecting something weird, but not that weird.
Hi, bitch. What are you doing out here?
Having more fun than the others in there, I assume.
Oh, I forgot. No dogs allowed. Too bad. But the service is probably very boring anyway.
At least until you go in looking like that.
Today we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And he didn't come back as a brain-dead zombie, mind you, so why should his church turn people into such? Let the church be resurrected as well. Life with God is an adventure after all, so our time spent in his house should reflect that.
Does that mean you're planning to abolish conventional services altogether?
I didn't say that, but when I talk about the creation of brain-dead zombies, and the first thing that comes to your mind is conventional services, maybe I should consider it.
But you can't do that. This is a church after all, not a circus. What's next? Will you invite the devil to join us in a white dress?
Are you the devil?
Excuse me?
Oh my god.
Stop staring at me, that's impolite. I'm just a little late. Stare at that stripper over there, he seems a lot more entertaining.
Where was I? Ah, right. Church is fun. Repeat after me. Church is fun.
Church is fun.
That's right. After the service, because no, I'm not abolishing it just yet, I invite you to stick around for a little barbecue party outside, and there will be an Easter egg hunt too, with a special reward for the winner. In this spirit, welcome to this year's Easter service.
So Mr. Playboy is actually the new priest?
Are you saying you had nothing to do with this?
For once I truly believe she's innocent. Putting together this hypocritical crone costume must have taken a lot of time and effort.
Who are you calling a hypocritical crone? You brought this upon yourselves when you told me I couldn't come here as a witch. So now I'm a kind old lady, as pious as they come. And now shut up, I'd like to listen to the sermon.
As a community, we have to find a way to make the church great again.
Mum, wake up.
What? I wasn't sleeping, just meditating on the very enlightening sermon. When did they let bitch in?
They didn't. The sermon is over and everybody is outside at the barbecue party. I think we should join them.
Where's Tiamo?
Confessing his sins, I assume.
What was that all about? You can't just come in here and try to revolutionize the church on your first day as the new priest.
Like you care. Just because you're sucking up to the leader of that feminist sect doesn't mean you have to act like you suddenly share her faith. Does she even know about our little family secret?
That has nothing to do with this. And Studio Donna is not a sect, it's an arts center for women.
Either way, you're a hypocrite, Serena. At least I stand by what I truly believe.
And I don't, or what? You are the only man in this world I have ever cared about, but I care about other things too. Don't ruin this for me.
Sisters.
Yeah, they can be quite the pain in the ass, right? Mine almost put on a funeral dress for today's service. That would have been very inappropriate, given how lively your service was.
You liked it then?
Loved it. If it was always like this at church, I might even consider coming here more often. But I'm a sinner, you know.
That's okay, we all are. What's important is that God knows about our sins and loves us nevertheless, so we are always welcome at his house.
Good to know.
Wilbica, can we talk?
About what? The Easter egg hunt. I'd say it's going pretty well so far.
Yeah. I just wish Beryl wasn't continuously trying to ruin it for everybody else just so she can win. She told the other kids that bitch will lay an egg for them if they pull her by the tail.
Gosh, not even a real kid would fall for that. Okay, except for one maybe.
What do you mean by a real kid?
Someone like your brother, but I obviously overestimated him.
Hello there. Are you enjoying yourselves? I like this little party a lot, and the service was also very nice.
Was it really the service you liked, Mum? Or the guy holding it?
Don't be ridiculous, Jacob Aiden. But now that you say it, there's something I'd like to ask Reverend Kaylani. Have you seen him?
Not since we left the church.
What is my mother doing over there?
Oh, Aya has been nothing but charming today. She's teaching some of the other women about flower arrangements.
Without any ulterior motives, I assume.
Of course. Look at that lovely bouquet she made me, using daisies and bluebells. Isn't that nice?
If you absolutely have to give me something in return, I would be happy about some bluebells.
You know what? I think I could use a lesson in flower arranging myself.
Wait. Fuck.
So you've been a florist for almost 40 years? That's strange. I've never heard of you before.
It would surprise me if you had. Or do you know every florist in your district by name?
Where is your shop?
I don't have a shop anymore. I work from home, taking orders online.
But you must have an online shop then, or at least a website.
Yeah.
Hey Mum, can I borrow some of these bluebells?
Just in time. Ladies, this is my daughter Wilbica. She's been watching me work since she was a toddler and knows a thing or two about flowers herself.
Do I?
Could you be a dear and teach these fine women the basics of the language of flowers?
Actually.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Oh. Well. Something special about the language of flowers is... Gah, there is so much to talk about that I don't even know where to start. So, did you know there's an old legend about the scent of bluebells granting longevity?
I don't care that you're busy painting Easter eggs, Grande. I need you to set up that website for me. Yes, flowers. I was once a florist, remember? So what? You used to be a child psychologist, not exactly the most obvious starting point for a life of crime either. Get on with it. I need a website to present to those nosy cows as soon as possible.
I've always wanted to try this, but my husband says a respectable woman shouldn't do something so childish and dirty.
Good thing we don't have to tell him about this. We're being extra careful not to let it get dirty anyway. Wouldn't want the hot stuff to squirt prematurely after all.
Sounds interesting. Lord of the Underworld.
The underworld has nothing to do with it, neither does any lord.
You scared me?
It's beginning to look like in the manual.
Almost like a real volcano, in fact.
They're building a toy volcano?
Not exactly what came to your perverted mind when they talked about getting dirty and squirting, is it?
Shut up.
Anyway, yeah. Where the priest comes from, lava symbolizes life in a way, and since Easter is basically the festival of life, he thought it would be fitting to make that the reward for the kid that wins the Easter egg hunt. Boring, huh? I almost had him looking for my Easter eggs, and then she came along with her obnoxious helpfulness and ruined everything.
Let's come back at Christmas, then you can try again.
Congratulations, Beryl, for winning the Easter egg hunt.
That's so unfair. She's his sister, and she cheated.
Don't be such a sore loser. You're not worthy of this prize anyway. I told you that you would get an extra egg by pulling that ugly mutt's tail, and you fell for it. Dumbass. Say one more word about my dog and I'll rip your tongue out and feed it to her.
Thanks, but no thanks. I don't want anything from that toxic bitch. No offense to myself.
Better watch your own tongue, little girl.
Or what? Old trout.
Dark humor, everybody. Who doesn't like a little bit of dark humor every now and then? Just don't overreact, or you'll be back in prison before you know it.
I'm fighting for a noble cause that the police just don't always understand.
Yes, yes, Jesus must be very proud of your repeated attempts to wipe out his sex. Anyway, it's getting late, we should go now.
Already? But we haven't even seen the Easter Bunny yet.
You do realize that that was Dad in a costume all those years, right?
What?
Apparently not.
We still have other places to go, relatives to visit, you know the drill. But thanks for the invitation.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming, and for the beautiful flower bouquet. Maybe we could do something like this again sometime, when Elise is back from her educational trip.
Sure. Come on, children. You too, bitch.
Hello everybody. I am the Easter Bunny.
Too late, Dad. Daisy knows the truth.
Easter really is all about resurrection. I haven't seen you this alive in over a week, Willie.
If by being alive you mean putting Beryl in her place, I couldn't just stand there and watch her insult bitch. If I had it my way, I would have done way worse than just threaten to rip her tongue out.
Oh, the worst is yet to come.
What do you mean?
Trust me.
You put a hex on Evelyn's flower bouquet, didn't you?
Not just on hers.
Too bad Wilbica went home already. We didn't even have time to talk. I have a feeling that something bad happened to her, but how am I supposed to help her if she won't tell me about it?
Ignore it. Girls her age are stupid and complicated. She probably just got her first period or something.
Spoken like a true expert, who still believed in the Easter Bunny 5 minutes ago. Why didn't I ask your advice sooner?
He's not wrong. Wilbica might be going through something she doesn't feel comfortable talking about, not even to a friend, and putting pressure on her won't help. Just give her time.
Or take it as a sign to stay away from her for good. That family is a bad influence.
Aaron, we talked about this.
That was before I showed up looking like you, like she was trying to hide something, and Wilbica threatened another girl with violence.
Uff. What is that smell? Daisy, you pig.
It wasn't me. I swear.
That's odd.
The Foxbury Monument is covered in junk. Good to see that not everything has changed here in all these years.
Who would do something like this?
The enemy, of course. Are you saying you don't know about the rivalry between the two Brightchester universities? Back in my day, Foxbury students would sometimes visit the historical university at night to deface its monument, and vice versa.
How childish. Does that mean you and I are supposed to hate each other now? You always tease me anyway.
The rivalry doesn't spare siblings. After Nate's brother got his acceptance letter from Foxbury, Nate would only refer to him as the traitor, and I didn't learn Finn's real name until I met him in person. Speak of the devil.
Just a second. Hi Finn.
Wilbica.
How was your family trip to Granite Falls?
Very chaotic. We got lost in the woods. Never mind. How was your weekend? Did the Easter Bunny bring you any presents?
It did bring me one for you actually.
Oh, bluebells.
Now you can make those special scented candles that make people live longer.
Thank you.
How sweet. When is the wedding?
The same day as your funeral.
I see you got your bike back. I like it.
Maybe it was the scent of your candle that restored it. Isn't that why you sent them in the first place?
Well, if it helped, I'm not going to say no. Say, what's wrong?
I don't feel so good.
That's what you get for putting a hex on my aunt, Mamminis.
Wilbica.
What happened?
I don't know. She collapsed just like that.
Willie. Wake up.
Nope, she won't. Not for 100 minutes anyway. Sleep tight, little Briar Rose. Who are you?
The Easter Bunny. Isn't that obvious?
Oh, Wilbica's brother, the musician. I'd say you'd be better off at the historical university, but then again, what I'm about to drop into this toilet is a pretty good representation of what it must be like to be a student there, so I can't blame you for feeling drawn to Foxbury.
I saw you use a voodoo doll on my sister today.
Voodoo dolls are nasty, even by witch standards. My aunt Stell Maria has arrested people for less. And for false accusations, so I assume you have proof?
I'm going to make this quick and easy for you. Leave Wilbica alone. Got it?
And if not?
If not, I'll come back, and then the realm of magic police will be the least of your problems.
Did you actually pee yourself right next to the toilet stalls? Remember this the next time you think a girl with twice your IQ isn't mature enough for this school.
She does have an online shop all right. But still, something seems rather fishy about this. Serena, I've been waiting for your call.
Sorry for taking so long, but I ran every test I could think of. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything. From a biochemical point of view, these are entirely normal flowers.
Good.
How is that good? I thought you wanted to find out what it was that caused that horrible stench on Easter Sunday, and whether or not Mammini had anything to do with it. But if it wasn't her flowers...
It was her flowers, I'm certain of it. But if biochemistry isn't the answer to the question of how she did it, it must be something else. And I have a pretty good idea what that could be. Thank you, Serena, you've helped me a lot. You used magic for that little trick, didn't you? Not surprising, given that your husband was a witch too.